Welcome to Magic in the Ordinary. Today, it is an honor and a joy to welcome a very special guest, the owner and designer behind Tracing Traditions, a company that provides practical support for families as well as a tremendous amount of beauty. So, Emily, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Yay! I wanted to start by, can you just tell us a little bit about your company, Tracing Traditions, and how you started it?
Sure. Well, I actually started out just making digital designs that I was trying to sell on Etsy. I was looking for things that were easy to cut out. I was working on using a Cricut cutting machine, and a lot of things that I found on Etsy designs already, they had lines that were too thin that just wouldn't work for cutting out with the machine and keeping it together to put on something. So I liked making shirts, things to give as gifts to friends who had new babies, things like that. So I'm not a graphic designer, so eventually I decided to kind of move into putting things on physical items, but also branched out into a new crafting technique that allowed me to do full color designs and things like that. So that's how I kind of got started with sublimation, using full color crafting techniques to put things on products. Sublimation lets me put things on there permanently. So my best-selling ones are dry erase boards that I put. I'm Catholic, so Catholic prayers for kids to trace so they can learn their prayers and practice handwriting at the same
Oh,
time.
I love that. It's so pretty. So
Yeah.
did you grow up with a crafty background? Like all the stuff you're doing, that's all kind of a new world to me. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really
I'm
cool.
I'm not artistic at all, but I love doing just crafty type things. I can't draw, I can't paint. I can do stick people, but that's the extent of my artistic abilities. So I use pictures that I've taken. I love
Mm.
working with um, and sometimes when I make a design, just finding the right font with the right curves, the right ligatures, things like that. It's just so much fun. It takes too long because I'm very detail oriented, but it's a blast.
Oh, that's why they turn out so well, though. I think that detail oriented is it can be really, really helpful, especially with design.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to jump into like why is beauty so important in our everyday life? Like I see these dry erase boards. You could just have them very simple. I don't know, I saw one that was like marbleized, like it's just very
Mhm.
beautiful. I was like, I wanted to jump into that. Why is beauty so important in the everyday?
Um, I think a lot of beautiful things are born out of struggle.
Ooh.
Especially like we're in Minnesota and getting through winter can be so hard. But um seeing those first buds in the spring and seeing things green up,
Hmm.
it almost makes all of the winter worthwhile. You know, getting stuck inside, cooped up, sometimes with the kids just driving me nuts. Once we can get out and spend more time outside
Hmm.
and work the garden and things like that, it's just it it lifts me up. It gives so much, it elevates everyday life.
Mhm.
And struggles with kids, you know, teaching them even just how to walk, how to eat, and then eventually they can do it for themselves. And there's such a beauty in being one of the first witnesses to that.
Hmm.
A child learning how to smile, even. That is my favorite milestone. And they learn it by imitating us.
Oh.
And it's it's just such a wonderful thing to
Hmm.
be able to witness.
Oh, wow. I love that thought of like they actually learn how to smile by smiling back. And I think
Hmm.
I don't know, that really hits home for how beauty works in general. Like beauty can kind of more beauty. Like I mimic paintings of like the greats that I like. So I'll like mimic it and it's kind of it's a similar thing, where I'm like learning to smile through that, learning that kind of beauty leading into hopefully more beauty in our own lives and kind of compounding that.
Hmm.
Which is really, really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Oh, that's fun. I saw a post that you said everyone should embrace the gifts that they've been given. And I've been thinking a lot about this. We all have our different talents. And yeah, you want to just speak a little bit to why it's so important to embrace your gifts and how that can bring glory to God?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I'm not very artistic. I don't have drawing or painting abilities, but I know a lot of people who do. And I've learned, especially, I've worked with this in the past year, so learning not to see that as an object of envy or
Mm,
jealousy, but appreciating it. And if someone's willing to reach out to them and work together to bring our different strengths together to give glory to God. So I've worked with other designers and artists to make dry erase board borders. So there's one woman who's has beautiful floral paintings, and she designed a border for me for blank dry erase boards that kids or adults can use in their kitchens or homeschooling or whatever, because I couldn't do that, but she could. And then I could help promote her work and her gift of her artistic abilities and the things that she's honed in practicing that gift. And I could tell people about her and her business. And she also helped me to be able to offer more things to more people, which is really, it's, it's, it's so much fun. I love collaboration.
mm. Oh, that's so good. I think there is like this like danger of human tendency to get competitive or to just feel
Hmm.
bad. Like I'll see,
Yeah.
perfect, I don't know, writing, for example. I'm like,
Hmm.
my
Yeah.
writing does not look like that, most of the
Yeah.
time.
Mine does not either.
So I'm like, dang. But I like what you're saying. Like it can be a source of joy and then collaboration and uh
Yeah.
just a source of working together and bringing you together in a way that you wouldn't if you were both
Yeah.
perfect at floral
Hmm.
art and design
Yeah.
work, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to speak
Yeah.
a little into why community is so important then in business and then also in motherhood and life? Yeah, it's kind of just diving deeper into this question.
Yeah. So especially as women, we are built for relationships with other people.
Mm,
And especially during COVID, I felt so isolated. Just not being able to get together, even with my own extended family.
mm,
Um, T video chats, they're great, but they just aren't enough. I
mhm,
think in person getting together with people is vital to thriving as a human being.
mhm,
Granted, there are cloistered nuns and there are hermits, and that is a beautiful path. That is a big sacrifice. But most of us are built for community.
mhm.
Um, for example, I have a group of local moms that I meet with every week. On Thursday mornings, we do park play dates where we can bring our kids to the park
Yay.
and they can go play and have fun. If one of them gets hurt, they run back to us, but we get to talk and
Oh.
connect. And it's so nice, especially as a mom, to be able to go through life with other women. We're all in different seasons, but we can all, like, right now I'm at a stage where I don't have really young kids, so I can help pitch in with meal trains when a mom has a new baby.
Mm,
Or so I'm finally at that stage where other women have helped me when I need it, and now I can give back. And it's been really helpful. We can also just ask each other, okay, my kid's been doing this. Is this actually normal, or do I need to be concerned? Which is extremely helpful when you're just, you can't just Google everything because you're going to get a lot of wrong answers. But
it's
talking with other women who have been through it, is such a good thing. And especially faith life, building up the body of Christ and being able to pray for each other and walk with each other through sufferings and joys. Sharing joys is a really big thing.
yeah.
Um, it's necessary for all of us.
Mm. Hmm. It makes me think of Genesis where God was saying it's not good for man to be alone. And there
Hmm.
are so many times in my life where that verse is kind of echoed again, where it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I think life can get really busy and that can make it harder to like
Mhm.
build community. And the other thing piece is like you're saying, like video chats, but social
Yeah.
media too can make you feel like you've seen a
Mhm.
friend a lot of
Right.
times where you're like, oh yeah, I've been
Mhm.
following everything you've been eating for
Yeah.
breakfast, really? Like, and it's like, wait, but we
Yeah.
haven't had
Yeah.
a good sit down, heart to heart connection. How is your life? How are you?
Right.
And so I
Hmm.
think that can get a little lost, but it's good, so good to remember like sharing joy can go a little bit deeper than liking a post. It can really be
Hmm.
sitting together and sharing milestones
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. And there are also, as a small business owner with Catholics, there are resources too. There are some membership groups. I'm a member of St. Joseph Business Guild in the cities.
Oh yeah.
Um, Also Catholic owned is a good one. Catholics Online is great because it's a lot of it is based on networking because that is where
Mm.
the real work happens, is when people connect and work together to do
Mm.
great
It's so true. It's so true.
things.
It's very exciting. Okay, so going more into the business side of things, do you have any tips
Mhm.
for small business owners who might just be starting up and trying to expand?
Um, Definitely try and find some friends who know the business better than you do. I am definitely not a business person, but I've taught myself a lot through other people who can give me advice, and through a lot of prayer and discernment, figuring out what to focus on, what not to focus on, um, and where to spend my time and energy.
Mm.
Because especially as a mom, I have very limited time to work on business. Um, and that needs to be how it is because they are my priority.
Mhm.
Um, Although my business is also a very good example to them, the joy of creating and making things for others is something that I think sets a good example for them. Um, they get excited and dance around the room whenever I get an order and I get excited. So
Oh, that's
it's
amazing.
really fun. Yeah, they're my best cheerleaders and
Oh,
supporter.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so cute. They test
Mhm.
all the dry erase boards. They're like the
Oh
test.
yeah. Yep.
Hey.
Yep. Great durability testers and making sure they work and they're fun. So when I tried out glow in the dark acrylic, they were all over that. Like, oh, how well does this glow? Let's put it out in the sun and then bring it in the closet.
I love
See
that.
how it works. Yeah.
Oh, that's a gift. That's a gift to have
Mm.
an instant, test,
Yep.
and then also cheer squad. That's so much
Yes.
for.
Yep. Yep.
That's fun. But yeah, balancing life in general can be hard, but motherhood with marketing, with creating all these things, I that
Hmm.
it sounds almost like an impossible task. So I don't know, what are some things that you put into place to keep balance with everything or things like that?
Yeah. Well, every day is different, and I'm constantly working on getting better at it. I have definitely fallen short many times where I have a deadline or even just I get caught up in it and I spend too much time on my computer trying to market things and the kids come up and they're like, "Mom, can you play with me?" And I say no.
Mm,
And at the end of the day, I regret it and I apologize and I try and do better the next day. So every day I'm a work in progress, but I'm starting to try, especially this summer with all the kids home, um, just mark out certain times of the day that work better for me to do this.
mm,
I'm actually a morning person, so I don't mind getting up a little earlier than the kids and working on stuff or getting prayer time in, or I'm doing a marketing course right now with a Catholic marketer who's fantastic, doing that work and the Bible study that comes with it. Um, Nap time is great. And then after the kids go to bed, but without neglecting my spouse too, because when he gets home, he also wants to spend time with me. So I have to try and find just little pockets of time that work, um, and get things done. I am very easily distracted. So I think one thing I'm going to do is start putting post-it notes on my computer to remind myself what my tasks are for a particular day. So
Mm.
that if I start going off in Facebook land or Instagram and start scrolling, I can look back at that and have that physical reminder, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
That's
And
good.
yeah.
That's helpful. Well, okay,
Mhm.
especially from a marketing perspective, because you're posting
Mhm.
content on Instagram and
Yeah.
you're posting things on emails. And for me, I've been finding
Mhm.
more and more like I I have to work in a like basically a very loud, distracting place. Like
Yes.
Instagram,
Yep.
Facebook, all these things are very loud and
Hmm.
distracting places. So
Yep.
I go in with my list of like, okay, I've got to make an announcement about this. I want to post something about my spring classes, and then I'll go in and I'll be like, oh, so and so is doing this today. Like, let's go
Yes.
comment. And be like, 10 minutes later, I still have not posted about classes or
Exactly. Yep.
so it can be very tricky. So I'm guessing, yeah, having
Hmm.
a physical reminder will be really helpful.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
like setting timers for myself so that I'm like, all right, you have 10
Hmm.
minutes to post this picture. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you don't get to
Yep.
post it or this
Yeah.
announcement. But
Yeah.
it can be tricky. But
Yeah. And another big part I've learned is surrender. When you don't
mm,
get to everything, or if you're getting frustrated with your reach not being wide enough, just surrender it to God because He can work with anything. And if you're doing your part and things just aren't getting seen, maybe they're not getting seen by very many people, but they're getting seen by the right people.
mhm,
And if you change one person's life or just make one person think or pray about something that they haven't prayed about in a while, then that's worth it.
mhm.
Even if you don't get the numbers,
Yeah.
it's still good, a good thing to pursue.
Yeah. Yeah, is that shifting away from seeing numbers into seeing people. And I think that
Hmm.
that's really, really important to keep in mind
Yeah.
as well. Like
Hmm.
metrics are great, but then, who's the human being on the other side who
Yeah.
liked your
Yeah.
post and who got inspired by
Yeah.
it, hopefully.
Hmm.
I really like that. Awesome. Um, all right. I wanted to ask, I love your stickers. So I wanted to, this is like a random question, but I
That's
have,
okay.
I thought, like at the conference, and I got like a pile of your stickers and I've been
Hmm.
using them on
Yep.
journals and all kinds of
Yeah.
things. So do you have a favorite sticker? And also, where do you get all your inspiration from?
Um, I have a few favorites. So my Hail Mary one with the zinnia flowers in the background.
Oh, yes.
Um, I mean it's not super complicated, but uh those the zinnias in the background are pictures that I took of my own zinnias for my flower garden
Love that.
a couple of years ago. And then I removed the background and I added a filter to make them look kind of 3D-ish. Um, and I love zinnias because they're one of the few flowers that I don't end up killing. I don't have a very good green thumb. But zinnias, they thrive in my garden.
I love
And
that.
yeah, and they're also symbols of perseverance and fortitude, and they last so long.
Mm.
They're my first ones just started blooming over the weekend, and they'll probably bloom through September. So I have them almost all
Wow.
summer. Um, yeah, just having that on a sticker design is so much fun because they all mean something to me. I have the pro-life one that's the before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And the background is a picture that I took a long time ago of Lake Michigan because that just pictures of that shoreline bring me back to my childhood when we would rent a cottage on Lake Michigan. And I would just have this peaceful, beautiful week with my family where I could sit out and read and just listen to the waves. And it
Mm.
brings me back to just a beautiful time in my life and the serenity that I was able to experience there and the love of my family and all of that. So those are probably my two favorites.
That's amazing. I like the memories that are woven into them. That makes sense why they're so
Mhm.
pretty then, because you have that
Mhm.
layer of depth. Okay, Zinnia question then. Do you
Mhm.
progression plant them, like plant them throughout the summer, or do they just bloom throughout the whole summer?
No, no, they bloom throughout the whole summer. I usually buy a bunch of seeds um, from a company, and then I also harvest my seeds at the end of the year.
Okay.
So I have this huge Ziploc bag just full of seeds. And then in the spring, I dump them all out and they grow like weeds, but I love them.
That's
We just have
amazing.
a patch in our garden. Yeah, where they just grow.
Wow. Okay, I mean there's such
Hmm
beautiful flowers in my head. They were gonna be like a little bit of a diva plant, so I haven't grown them yet in
hmm
my garden. But now you're
Yeah,
convincing me that they need to have a place there. So that sounds fun.
yeah.
Oh, and I
hmm
like long blooming things too. That's great.
Yeah. hmm
All right, I'm going to shift into a little bit of an unusual question for the podcast, but I know you've read Heart, so I
hmm
was like so
Yep.
excited to chat. I know we've chatted a little bit on like DMs because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, she liked my book. But yeah, I'd love to
Yeah.
hear kind of what were your thoughts, maybe favorite elements or favorite character or something like that.
hmm Yeah. Well, I told you already, my favorite character is Naomi.
Yeah, this,
She has so much grit, and you can tell she lashes out a lot because she's been hurt and
mm,
hurt very, very badly,
yes,
but she still has an innocence about her,
yeah,
um, that is, it's like a little vulnerable puppy dog that's been beaten,
yeah,
but it's still lovable.
yeah.
And yeah, and I mean yeah, I love that about her. I of course love the main characters too, but she really she wormed her way into my heart. And um I hope you keep talking about her journey and what she's been through because she's just such an interesting character. Um but I love the theme of just humanity and how it can seem like some people have lost their humanity, but there's still a spark in there that's worth fighting for. Um, and that even when all seems lost, there's still something that you can try and discover. And you probably don't want me to reveal spoilers, but the part in the middle of the book when they discover a place of beauty, I loved that. And just even the simplest things can bring awe and like a tomato. I was actually thinking about your book when I was looking at my tomatoes this morning and just like something that is so simple, but yeah, it's beautiful. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you. I was like, it was so fun hearing that. And it is yeah, it was fun writing. I wrote it, I don't know if I had told you I wrote it in during COVID, so like lockdown. Wrote it in 30
Yep,
days. And
that
I
makes
was like,
sense.
right, I was like that struggle with what the world is crazy and
Yeah, yeah.
we're dealing with people getting sick and there's this kind of
hmm
traumatized air to it. But
Yep.
it's funny because Naomi, she was not like planned at all. Like I did not.
Oh wow.
I had she was nowhere a part of the plan and she came out of nowhere and I was like she's
Uh-huh.
gonna kill off my other characters like she is such a loose cannon.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, she was, I think she ended up just being so much fun to write just because I think there was something about
hmm
her that she just came in and she was like honesty in the midst of all of the
Yeah.
struggle. I was
hmm
like,
Yep.
thank you, but also where did you come
Yeah.
from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good comedic relief too. That's another thing I loved about her.
She's a nice contrast when all the other characters are like morally upright, but like really like
Yeah.
serious to some like they're trying not to die, so they're a little bit on the serious. But
Uh-huh.
she's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Uh-huh.
She was really fun to write, but
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for reading. And
Mhm.
where can people connect with you and follow your company? All those good things.
Okay, so you can find me on Etsy mostly. You can customize boards on there. You can either search Tracing Tradition, Or if you search Catholic dry erase, it will pretty much show up because I think I'm the only one making them right now. And as far as I know, I haven't found anyone else. There is one person who used to make them, but she used a different technology and she doesn't make them anymore. And she gave me her blessing to keep doing it. So I was very grateful
Yeah.
for that because I love making them. Um, and also, yeah, and there's also a new Catholic marketplace called Sacred Anchor Artisans, which is by a family out of Illinois that does mostly in-person conferences. They'll bring artists and artisans physical products to and sell them for them, um, and on kind of a consignment basis, which is really cool.
Wow.
And yeah, they're a great family. And also. They, yeah, so they have a bunch of artists and artisans on their website. So that's Sacred Anchor Artisans. And a few of my products will show up on the main page, but you can also search by vendor to find my stuff. And also Catholic Owned just started a new marketplace, and I have a few bundles on there and a couple stickers. Uh, and the nice thing about theirs is that we include shipping prices and everything. So the price you see is what it is. There's no added shipping cost to everything on there. And then a couple of my boards, Select Designs, are also on the Catholic Company. So I have a wholesale partnership with them, and that's been really, really fun. Kind of a dream come true because I've loved that website for a long time.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so that's really exciting. It's hard to find in the shuffle, but if you search dry erase, you'll find my boards. Um, and if you want to connect on Facebook or Instagram, it's just Tracing Tradition on there. I have an email newsletter that you can find in my bios on either of those social media places. Otherwise, it's just too hard to say how to get to my newsletter and all that. I don't have an advertising budget or anything, so things are a little bit more less streamlined than most people probably.
I've been really enjoying your newsletter. Like, I don't have kids, I don't need
Thanks.
dry erase boards at this exact moment, but I was like, I still just really love reading you. You're very good at like keeping everyone up to date and having some fun with it. So I've been
Yeah.
meaning to like, okay, I need to get better at my own newsletter because it's a once a month newsletter, but really it's like twice a year. So like I need to
Yeah.
actually get this out sometime so people know what's
Yeah.
happening in the writing sphere and if they're interested. So
Right. Yeah. And it's a fun way to keep up to date because social media does not show you what you want to see anymore most of the time.
yeah.
And it's hard to keep up with people that, oh, I really actually want to see their content, but
Yeah.
it's just way down here instead
Yeah.
of, yeah.
Right when you log in. Yeah, I've been
Mm,
noticing that as well. I've been getting less and
yeah.
less of the actual people that I'm on there to
Hmm.
connect with. So that's been frustrating. But yes, newsletter. It's a
Hmm.
great, you do, I love reading your newsletter and
Thank
it's
you.
fun. Yeah. So awesome. Well, Emily, thank you so much for coming on Magic in the Ordinary and sharing and yeah, for all the good work you're doing as well.
Thank you. You too. I really enjoyed your book and I'm looking forward to reading more from you in the future.